So Luna, can I let you in on something? Lately, whenever I scroll online and see people reaching these wild milestones, new jobs, businesses, relationships, it almost feels like everyone's sprinting. And I'm just standing there watching.
That feeling is more common than you think, Simon. It's not about actually being behind. It's about being human in a world that loves to measure everything.
Right? But sometimes it's like I missed a starting gun and life's just racing ahead without me. That sense of urgency can be overwhelming.
Maybe you're not meant to run the same race, Simon. Maybe you're building something real at your own pace. And that's not just okay, it's powerful. Welcome back to the Next Human Lab podcast, everyone.
I'm Simon, and today we're diving deep into timelines and why yours doesn't have to look like anyone else's.
Because being different, honestly, isn't about being late. Sometimes it's just about being true to you.
What's wild is most of the stress I feel isn't even from my own life, it's from measuring myself against someone else's highlight reel. That constant comparison just sucks the joy out of everything.
It really does. Comparison is like a fast track to forgetting how far you've actually come. Suddenly, all that slow, steady progress just looks like failure.
And our brains weren't really built for this, right? We evolved in small tribes, not surrounded by a million stories every time we refresh our feed.
Exactly. No wonder endless scrolling leaves us more tired than inspired. Our minds start spinning out, asking questions we're just not wired to answer.
Maybe the biggest myth is that being behind is even real. It's just a story one we tell ourselves when we're under too much pressure.
And most stories like that, they're built on someone else's timeline, not your truth. If you're feeling behind, maybe you're just measuring yourself against a clock that isn't yours.
What if we flip the script from am I behind to am I becoming? That question, it just feels lighter, you know?
It changes everything. Becoming has room for patience. It means you unfold at your own rhythm, not someone else's schedule.
I used to panic over hitting milestones by a certain age. It turned my 20s into a countdown, not a discovery.
That pressure, it can make every year feel like a deadline instead of a gift. But growth isn't this tidy straight line. Sometimes you're building, sometimes you're healing, and sometimes you're just resting in the quiet.
And honestly, those quiet years where nothing seems impressive on the outside sometimes count the most.
Especially when you realize blooming late or slowly isn't wrong. We just give too much credit to speed, when depth actually lasts longer.
You know what cracks me up? Nature never rushes, but everything still gets done. Trees don't check if they're the tallest. Rivers don't compete to flow the fastest.
They just grow how they're designed to. It's funny how we forget we're part of nature too. Instead, we add calendars, pressure, and all these artificial deadlines.
And then we wonder why we feel out of sync. It's like using someone else's map for your journey and then getting upset when you feel lost.
Gentle laugh. That's when things get noisy in your head. Sometimes we need to slow way down, take a breath, just notice our bodies and remember, we're right where our growth needs us to be.
It's a relief, honestly. When I stopped comparing, I started hearing my own rhythm instead of everyone else's tempo. So many people think age means you're too late or that life expires after a point. But some folks find themselves at 20, some at 40, some at 60, and every single one is right on schedule.
Exactly. When you let go of the idea that your timeline has to match anyone else's, it frees you up to actually listen to your own needs. Timing isn't social, it's something internal.
When I quit asking if I was late and started asking if I was honest with myself, everything softened. The urgency faded.
That's what creates peace. And peace is such a better guide than panic ever was. Even a tiny moment of honesty can start to unravel all that pressure.
And that brings us to something most people overlook: rest. Sometimes your timeline looks like pausing, reflecting, or doing absolutely nothing that's productive.
And that rest is secretly the most productive thing you can do for your soul.
Let's talk about trust for a second. Most of us were taught to trust plans and approval instead of our own signals. But real trust starts with giving yourself permission.
Permission to slow down, change your mind, or not have the answers. That kind of gentle permission softens your whole body.
And when your body softens, suddenly things get clearer. I used to think you earn trust after success, but it turns out you have to offer trust to yourself before success even arrives.
For me, it looks like keeping small promises, taking a real rest when I say I will, or being honest even if it's uncomfortable. Each promise is a little brick in your foundation.
And over time, that inner foundation makes your timeline feel so much safer, even when the outside world tries to speed you up. Comparison sneaks up quietly. Sometimes it feels like curiosity, but then it morphs into pressure. And suddenly, you're spiraling. The trick is asking, is this even my desire? Or just fear talking?
That one question can break the cycle. So often, we chase timelines because we're scared of disappointing people, or even a past version of ourselves.
But growth always disappoints something old. And honestly, that's not betrayal, it's evolution.
Evolution needs honesty. I remember a time when my resume looked perfect, but I felt absolutely drained. That exhaustion was my body telling me I was off course.
It's wild how your body knows the truth before your mind is willing to face it. Learning to listen to that is everything. Forgiving your past pace is huge. We get stuck thinking we should have learned or acted sooner, but you really only understand things when you're ready.
That's wisdom, not a weakness. Timing is so much more intelligent than we give it credit for. It adapts to our capacity, not some external stopwatch.
If you feel like you're moving slowly, maybe your body is prioritizing safety over speed. And that's actually a smart system.
Safety is always more important than speed. When you stop fighting your pace and start honoring it, that's when peace settles in.
Sometimes a simple pause, relaxing your shoulders, taking a gentle breath is all it takes to reset your relationship with time. Living without constant comparison isn't a one-time fix. It's a practice. When comparison shows up, I try to notice it without judgment. Like, my mind's just trying to keep me safe again.
Comparison is usually rooted in fear of not being seen or not mattering. But your actual value comes from being aligned with yourself, not by racing ahead.
A great way to cut down on comparison is to take breaks from triggers, especially social media. Not because it's evil, but because your mind needs to hear your own voice.
Silence is where your real rhythm becomes clear again. And gratitude, real, honest gratitude, can gently bring you back to what's already working.
When you stop comparing, you start to appreciate others' journeys without shrinking your own. So here's the heart of it. Living confidently on your own timeline isn't about being loud. It's about being grounded, choosing peace over performance.
It's letting yourself be misunderstood, because your own clarity matters more than applause. That's real emotional independence.
You stop chasing. You start choosing. Life gets quieter, but so much stronger. Sometimes people think slowing down is giving up, but it's really just choosing with intention.
Alignment feels like coming home. If you're listening right now and feeling uncertain, just remember, you're not behind. You're not missing out. You're exactly where you need to be.
You're unfolding. And that takes time. Time's not your enemy, it's your partner. Before we wrap up, Luna, what's one reflection you want to leave with everyone today?
Ask yourself, what feels true for me right now? Not what's impressive or urgent, just what's honest. That answer can be your compass.
Thanks for being with us, breathing with us, and trusting your own pace for this moment.
This is Next Human Lab, where gentle growth is honored and nobody is ever behind.
You're not late. You're right on time.